What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video we're going to be looking at the key differences between the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. So both devices look very similar and they are very similar, but hopefully this video will help you decide which one is the right one for you. So in terms of the build and design, both of these have a metal frame with curved Gorilla Glass 5 panels on the front and back, which are symmetrical on both sides and look absolutely beautiful. They're both IP68 water and dust resistant, and they're definitely some of the best looking devices out right now. The Note 8 however is slightly more squared off on the edges compared to the S8 Plus, which is a little bit more rounded off. The Note 8 is also ever so slightly larger overall compared to the S8 Plus, but there's not really much in between these two. Now both devices are relatively large, but when we look at them in relation to the display sizes, this is very impressive. Both devices have infinity displays, and that means we have minimal bezels. The Note 8 has a slightly larger 6.3-inch display compared to the 6.2-inch display on the S8 Plus. Both devices have an 18.5:9 aspect ratio, which is going to allow you to fit more into your devices vertically, and they are both Super AMOLED with a Quad HD Plus resolution. This means colors are vibrant, blacks are deep, and details are sharp and crisp. These are definitely some of the best displays out on the market right now. Now internally things are quite similar as well. We've either got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor or Samsung's Exynos 8895, depending on which region you're from. I've been using the S8 Plus for quite some time now, and it has been very fast and snappy. The Note 8 however does come with 6GB of RAM as opposed to 4GB of RAM on the S8 Plus. And this is because of the emphasis of multitasking that Note devices always have. So as well as your standard multi-window and things, you are going to be able to use features such as App Pair, which is going to let you open 2 apps in multi-window with just one click. For storage, you've got 64GB as a base, but you can expand that with the micro SD card slot on both devices, and this is really useful. Now moving on to the cameras, this is where we have a big difference. The S8 Plus has a 12-megapixel camera with optical image stabilization, dual pixel autofocus, and it has an f1.7 aperture. It's definitely one of the best smartphone cameras out right now. I've posted lots of images with it and done lots of Super Saf style camera comparisons. The Note 8 improves on this and is Samsung's first flagship device with a dual camera setup. Both cameras are 12 megapixels with optical image stabilization. The primary camera is very similar to the S8 Plus. It's wide angle and has an f1.7 aperture with dual pixel autofocus. But then you have a second telephoto camera which has an f2.4 aperture and is going to allow you to have 2x optical zoom. It'll also allow you to take portraits with blurry backgrounds. This is something we've seen on many devices, but you can also capture images from both cameras at the same time. So the Note 8 definitely gets the advantage here in terms of the cameras. In terms of video, both devices film at up to 4K, and for the front-facing camera, we've got an 8-megapixel camera with an f1.7 aperture as well as autofocus. I've tested this quite extensively on the S8 Plus and the results have been quite impressive, and you can expect similar results on the Note 8. Now in terms of software, both of these have Android, but the Note 8 will be coming with Android version 7.1.1 out of the box. Currently my S8 Plus is still on Android version 7.0. I'm hoping the update will be coming soon. Both of these do have Samsung's Experience Skin on top. Now looking at the additional features, both devices do have a fingerprint scanner, but this is at the back near the cameras. Now for the S8 Plus, it's actually right next to the camera, so you do have the risk of smudging the lens a little bit. On the Note 8 however, you do have the heart rate sensor and LED flash in between the cameras and the fingerprint scanner, so you'll be less likely to smudge those lenses. Now a good way to avoid touching the lens on the devices is by using a skin from our channel sponsor Dbrand. This will give it a bit more texture on the back, and you'll be able to more easily differentiate where the fingerprint scanner is. I'll be leaving a link to them in the description below. Now if you don't want to use the fingerprint scanner, then you do have the option of the iris scanner, and both of these do have an iris scanner which works really well and is very secure. Both devices also come with a USB Type-C input, and you'll be pleased to know that they both also have a 3.5mm headphone jack, and Samsung are including AKG earphones worth $99 with both devices. We also have Samsung's very own AI assistant Bixby, and this is available on both devices. It can be activated by a dedicated button which is below the volume rockers, and you also have Bixby Voice, so you can activate it with voice. There's also Bixby Vision, which is going to allow you to point the camera at places and get images and shopping results and things. I've been using Bixby for the past few weeks and it is pretty impressive in terms of what it can do. You can go in quite deep into apps with your actions, and the thinking behind it is that you should be able to do anything with your voice that you could do with touch. Now, one feature which differentiates the Note 8 from many of the devices is the S Pen. And this is going to allow you to have lots of advanced features. We've still got some of the features that we like, such as the screen memo, where you can just go ahead and write something on screen and it will stay on there because of the always on display. But you also have some new features such as live translate. You're going to be able to select lines of text and you can translate them live. In terms of the batteries, the S8 Plus actually has a slightly larger battery, 3500 mAh versus 3300 mAh on the Note 8. Now, I believe there's a few reasons for this. Firstly, the S Pen is going to be taking up some space within the device, which doesn't allow for enough room for a larger battery. And because of the issues that happened with the Note 7, the battery expanding, I think Samsung have taken the safer option and included a slightly smaller battery on the Note 8. I'll let you know how I get along with these and which device that I get more battery life with. The S8 Plus has been pretty good overall. Neither of the batteries can be removed, but you do have fast charging as well as fast wireless charging. These are very useful, especially when you need a quick top up. Finally, in terms of pricing and availability, the Note 8 is going to come in roughly about 10 to 15% more compared to the S8 Plus. This will vary depending on your region. The S8 Plus is currently available to buy. With the Note 8, you can pre-order it from the 24th of August and it's going to be shipping from the 15th of September. So guys, that's the comparison of the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 versus the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Both very good devices, some of the best devices out right now. I guess it's going to come down to whether or not you want the additional features that the Note 8 offers, such as the additional RAM, the S Pen, as well as the dual camera setup, and you will be paying a little bit more for those features. What do you think of the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and the S8 Plus? Which one would you choose? Definitely drop me a comment in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. If you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications. There's plenty more Note 8 content coming up on here. Thanks for watching, and thanks to David the Unlocker for helping to make this video possible. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time.